It is time once again for The Law and You right here on Eyewitness News. Joining us as always, award-winning attorneys Greg Fellerman and Ed Saramboli. Guys, thanks for being here.
We are, I tell you what, it's beginning to feel like Christmas now.
Yeah, it's getting close to Christmas,
Little bit,
but not feeling like it.
Not the
outside.
weather.
Not the weather.
Another
no.
mild week ahead.
I'll tell you, you called it though. You said it was going to be a warm winter.
You know, it's the power of El Nino. All right, now it's the power of Fellerman and Saramboli on this question, and it's a little bit different. I'm interested to hear how this one works out. This is from Greg, not Fellerman, in Wilkes-Barre. This says, my sister left marijuana in the house. The police came to the door and wanted my parent to let them in to search the home. Do they have to let them in? So, Greg and Ed, how does this work out?
No. Don't let them in.
You got it right.
I got it right. I don't even know criminal law, but don't let them in. They don't, they don't have a search warrant. So I'm going back to my law school days.
That's impressive.
They don't have a search warrant, so you do not have to let them in the house. And I definitely wouldn't let them in the house if you know that there's drugs in the house and they don't have a search warrant. If you let them in, then I think, under the current state of the law, that if you invite them in, then they can kind of look around wherever they want. So you really shouldn't let them in the house.
No, and they can try to talk their way in, and if you let them in, that you do that at your own demise. But they do not. They have to have a warrant to come into your house, and that's a fundamental right prescribed by the United States Constitution. So you have that right. Don't give it up. There are some exceptions if they were in a hot pursuit or if it was in plain view. There's some things that they could possibly, knock and see stuff and then come in. But in the situation the way you have it described, I don't think they can come in. And, it's always better if they show up, you should pick up a phone and call a lawyer and get them there because, you're giving up all. And, the police are very good at handling these situations. And they follow the law, but if you let them go down the road they're allowed to, it could end in conviction for you or your daughter.
So in the very least, no matter what the scenario is, a law enforcement officer always must have a warrant to enter your house.
Not always.
Not always, but there's exceptions to the rule. But and again, when I was in the district attorney's office, we always would say, "Hey guys, get a warrant. It's a heck of a lot easier when you're in court because if you have a warrant, you know what you're looking for, and you go and you get it, then you don't have any motions to suppression, all that stuff. So it's better to have a warrant from a law enforcement standpoint, but sometimes it's not practical.
Yeah.
Now, I know if viewers have questions on this, you have great referrals for criminal law.
do.
So
Yes.
how can they reach you?
Just call us, 570-714-HURT. See us on the web, 714hurt.com, and we'll hook you up with a criminal lawyer.
And I would just add, talk to obviously if your sister's doing drugs, you really should have a conversation about her smoking pot in your parents' house. Certainly not something she should be doing.
Yeah.
But if you have a question, put it on our Facebook page. We'll do our best to answer it on an upcoming segment.
All right, Results Matter with attorneys Greg Fellerman and Ed Saramboli. Guys, thanks. We'll see you next time.
You got it, Dave.
Don't forget, PAHomepage.com or the Law and You hotline are always open.